What's up, everyone? So Chromatic Blade has been out for quite a while, and I've seen a lot of builds on it, and I don't think any of them have really passed up my Exalted Dash build. But today I'm thinking of actually combining the two and actually making a Chromatic Dash build. So yeah. Yeah. So obviously your energy color is going to affect how you look. So obviously, I'm gonna show you my color palettes. Not my color, my color palettes. For this XCal, I think this XCal looks very nice. I don't like the red on it. I just don't think it goes well. But honestly, it kind of depends. I go to like my. Let's go to energy actually. So, take a look. We can go like this, right? It won't fit in. I think the red adds a little oomph to it. But the accents I definitely think need to be turned into that gold. So, yeah. So this is the attachments palette. This is the Warframe palette. You have to use the proto skin because if you use the regular XCal, it's gonna look really bad. I can test it out on like Prisma skin, which shows off nothing. I think the best one in my opinion is the proto armor skin. They did change your like secondary color to like a gold arm. Like it looks badass now. I feel like if you take a look at my original OG X Cali, like he has that buff gold arm. Same with this guy. So he looks really good. The Cyan Donna, I'm thinking of changing the energy color to a solid gold too, because as long as you have yellow, you're gonna have heat. So like I'm using the Vistapa Prime Cyan Donna, but you know, not really anymore. I was thinking of using like this, but it just doesn't go well with him. You know, I can use the Misa Prime, which is like one of the best Cyandonas in the game. I can use the Arcane, or I can use my Teplo Cyandana, which is a pretty nice Cyandana, if I do say so. It really fits Excal's Proto Armor skin. But yeah, let's get into the video. So the Chromatic Dash, we already saw. If you already saw my Exalted Dash build, I think that is the most effective end game Excalibur build to date, and for a good reason. He's very fucking powerful with that build. He just abuses combos and everything for him. He's very abusive with that build, especially with your good old Broken War here. And you get this weapon for free. This is a fantastic weapon. You should keep it. I would take this over the War any day. But, you know, it's your opinion. Sorry about that. I think the Broken War is one of my personal favorite weapons in the game. It does a really good amount of damage, and you get it for free with its own catalyst installed. Like, why the fuck not? Anyway, so here's the build. As you can see, I am not running primed flow as if I were to use my Exalted Dash build. This one had primed flow, but instead I replaced primed flow with Chromatic Blade. So we're going to see how that works out. And if not, then I'm thinking of honestly just taking off fleeting for primed flow. It doesn't seem like that big of an issue, but it does seem like a big issue when it comes to the dash part. So you want to have a good amount of efficiency. You also want to have a good amount of duration because, as you can see, your blind range isn't the best, and your radial blind still has a good amount of range. But as you can see, energy a second 0.75, and then the energy cost of slash dash is 13. So you always want to keep that efficiency up. So well, first of all, how do I say this correctly? Well, Excalibur is already a beast. If he didn't get nerfed and I found this build out before he got nerfed, he would have been even more overpowered. But this still makes him very powerful for the late game potential. And well, how am I supposed to say it? He's very powerful and one of the most powerful frames in the game. Yeah, okay. No, we always tested 1.8, 110. Simulate. I'm very rusty. I haven't played Warframe in a while. But real way to do it is just to charge in there, radio blind. You're gonna get stunned, but you pop exalted, and then you go in with slash dash, and yeah. So yeah, the only problem, in my opinion, is the fact that you do not have enough energy to suffice. And you know that's a big issue when it comes to powerhouses like Excal. You're gonna need energy at some point, so you're obviously going to want to have Zenuric on. But yeah. And if you can chain multiple dashes, you're gonna be able to do a lot more. So these are gunners who are out of the stealth range, which means they aren't going to take any damage. But as you can see, you're still going to be doing a lot of damage to the ones that are blinded. You slash dash. The slash dash is just a dash version of his exalted blade. But yeah. So you can already see that this build completely melts the enemies. It's such a powerful build. And so if I were to take off chromatic blade, right? Obviously, if I were to take off chromatic blade, the build would be the exact same, except this one has more energy. So let's just take a look at the slash, the exalted dash build. This is my signature build. This is the one I think I completely made this up by myself alone. All right, this one doesn't revolve around chromatic blade, but it's still good. This build is still high tier. But it's still like, so what I did with the chromatic blaze, I just added more gas in there, right? So obviously you want more gas in there, right? So that's the first time that build has really ever failed me, because you really need to get your combos up, and if you do not get your combos up, you do not get your status in there. And here is where it all comes together. Okay, so obviously you're going to be loaded on, your status chances increased by 50%. Now that's really what makes this really good. Like Exalted Blade's damage type changes depending on energy color and status chance. Alright, so I have 2 toxin mods and 1 fire mod, and I made up for that fire damage for the energy color. Now you can pick gold and it still gives you fire, which is amazing. But overall, he still shreds. He still shreds a good amount of damage. He's going to be your damage dealer, except the sad part is so take a look. This is 0.75 energy a second. If you really want to, you can take off after that, and you'll get 90% efficiency, but you'll also get 226 duration. You're gonna consume up to 1.22 energy a second. That's what I'm mainly afraid of. Or you could take off stuff like Streamline if you wanted to. Right, that wouldn't actually be a bad idea, to be honest. That actually, it does not sound like a bad idea. My only problem is you're still going to take up more than 1 energy a second. That's actually pretty bad. So, like, all of this just comes together. So you're going to have to be really smart with this build. This build not performs, but it promotes smart gameplay with this guy. So you can obviously take off your power strength, but once again, that just goes straight into your raw gas damage. Like that power strength is so needed. So you know, you kind of need all of these. What I could honestly promote is you putting more Forma in, unlocking the Exilus adapter spot, But my only problem is you can only put like power drift in there, right? You can only put power drift in there. You can't put any X-less mods in here because, well, you don't have any. Alright, so if you want to play like Prime Flow, you can't. You can't. It's not possible. So a lot of people just run the chromatic blade, and I kind of just say no to that for a good reason. You're kind of gonna need the exalted blade part, right? You're not the exalted. You need the surging dash to build your combo multiplier. I'm gonna die. But as you can see, these guys are already taking massive damage to begin with. Like, this is me with only 30% Berserker. As you see, their damage over time is great. I'm not even proccing that much on them. Alright. That's just gas or that's just toxin. That's just the toxin part. Alright, one hit should kill that guy. Right? And then you go in with the slash dash. It's gonna knock him down, it's gonna build your combo up, which means you can get Berserker going. And when you can get Berserker going, it means more status procs. Now, what you could use is you can use a very overpowered mod called Condition Overload, which does way too much damage. Shall I say more? Condition Overload. I do not have that mod. If anyone is willing to give me that mod, that would be greatly appreciated. I do not have anything to really give for it. I would like it though. But what you could do is replace Berserker with Condition Overload, and this will allow you to just keep pumping out damage, pumping damage. The only problem is you're only emitting what gas damage, and that's pretty much it. So you got to get your combo up for Weeping if you want to proc more. This is a very situational build if you want to, you know, do extreme damage. Right, but once you're in a crowd of enemies like this, you can be able to slash dash for so many enemies and then start murking, right? And these are heavily armored targets, right? So you're going to do a lot of damage. You're going to do way too much damage and DPS, and your teammate, you're going to be doing more damage than like an unbuffed Saren or like a Mesa with a really powerful build. You're going to be pumping damage more than anyone could imagine. Alright, so the key is to obviously slash dash into multiple enemies. If you read my exalted dash secret, you're going to realize that when you slash dash and hit an enemy, that a projectile will come out from your exalted blade, and that will also emit into the enemies. Right, so let's say this. You hit one enemy, right? You have a projectile going into 3 other enemies. Now, you're also chaining to those other 3 enemies too with your slash dash. That means you're hitting those 3 other enemies too. That means you're hitting one enemy, going on to another, right? The first enemy procced a, let's say a gas proc. You don't even need it. You don't even need it. You're going to have, so after you slash dash, you're going to have a projectile come out, let's say. You're going to have that kind of projectile come out after you slash dash. Okay? You have to hit an enemy for that to happen though. You're gonna hit one enemy, the projectile is gonna come out, and it's gonna hit all the other enemies in a line. Now, you're also going to chain to 3 other enemies, so that means 3 extra projectiles coming out. And if that means 3 extra projectiles, it's 3 extra projectiles of raw status damage. Now, if that means raw status damage, and you're also chaining to 3 other enemies, so let's say you hit 4 enemies in one slash dash, that means you're proccing 4 projectile hits. That's insane! And, once again, you have the extra gas damage with this build. Shall I say more? I probably shouldn't say more. This build makes Excal in the meta for a reason. So, watch. 4 enemies. Ready? Go. They're gonna die, first of all. They're gonna die just by the slash dash. You hit this guy with a slash dash. Over where you're looking at these 2 enemies. That's gonna hit them. You saw the projectile hit them. And then you just start mowing into them. This build is insane. Now, in the late game, you're going to have to abuse your blind. Because if you don't, you're not going to do any damage. Right? You got to have those multipliers up. If you don't have those multipliers up, you're not going to have a good time. This build, like, honestly, like, it's like they want XCal to be broken. Right? So we're going to look over here. We're going to slash dash into these guys, going into those guys. The projectile's hitting them. These guys are most likely going to be close to dead. Right? And I'm still getting Berserker off these guys, just to let you know. Right? I'm hitting slash dash. I'm getting insane combo multiplier. Yeah, this build also suffices for early game too, because you don't even need to... Okay, so when you slash dash with your melee out, you're using your melee, right? Okay. So this build takes a lot of explaining. You have to have Exalted Blade out. If you do not have Exalted Blade out and you slash dash, you're not going to do any crits. No projectile is going to come out, right? But if you put on Exalted Blade, that's when those crits happen. That's when you chain. That's when everything dies. Once again, shall I say more? Okay, you want to play a high damage XCal build, right? I mean, this even works on single target. We're going to dash this one guy to death, okay? We're going to dash him to death, okay? Nothing else, just dashing. Oh, and blind, of course. You procced a gas proc? Congratulations! You're gonna do damage. So, yeah. XCal is still extremely powerful. There's nothing else I should say besides this guy's still in the meta. This guy's still one of the best frames in the game. And you could still chain to more than just 3 enemies. You can train up to 5 enemies. Right, and as you can see, just immencing so much damage. He's dead. Right, and you can also run a corrosive build, but the gas build is just so much more effective in every way possible. I'm gonna demonstrate it one more time for you guys, and this. So yeah, so we have the majority of the enemies facing this way. Slash dash. We need slash dash again. They're probably all gonna die. You only really ever want to use slash dash once, but. Yeah, still so fucking overpowered. Can you just get blinded, please? Thank you. I'll deal with you later. By later, I mean now. As you can see, all the satisfying yellow numbers. Still doing a lot of damage because of that combo multiplier. Insane DPS from our amazing mod of our amazing chromatic blade. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. XCal is such a broken frame now. I don't know why they decided to add that mod to him in the game, but hey, you do you, DE. I'm not disappointed. This is fucking amazing. Okay, the XCal is so revolutionary. He's honestly, he does way too much damage. You know what? We're gonna do a test before we end the video. We're gonna do a test, and it's not gonna be about the slash dash. Even though the slash dash is really good, we're not gonna do the slash dash. I'm still dead. But still, tons of numbers. Kill enemies, simulate. So obviously you want to run a Xenuric build. as you can see. You can still proc Berserker with the projectiles, but it's better off just to proc Berserker when the slash dash is happening. As you can see, insane damage numbers. You know, these proc a lot, and you know, with Weeping Wounds, with the slash dash, everything just goes together. This build is great with synergy. With, you know, his two most used abilities with an underrated first ability. You know, all of this just synergizes so well together, and I'm happy that I honestly could make the X-Cal better by doing this type of build. Alright, I'm happy that X-Cal is actually still extremely powerful. Even when Chromatic Blade came out and people still didn't know about the Exalted Dash build, this guy still did. Chromatic Blade still did a lot for him. Now, combining that with the Exalted Dash build, I'm sorry, but he's probably the best frame in the game now. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and possibly subscribe. It would make my day. Also, please tell me your opinions. If this build should get nerfed. If this build should get buffed. If it should stay neutral. That's my opinion. But overall, yeah. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, possibly subscribe. It would make my day. I know that I said that twice. And peace out.